Ahmad Lawan, how did you come back? You were involved in presidential primary, Falana. Mr. Femi Falana, the senior advocate of Nigeria, said that how did Ahmad Lawan come back to Senate because he was involved in the presidential primary? Falana made the statement in an interview with Channel Television during Politics Today program, when Seun Okinbaloye said he would like to air his view on what Bukachua said on the floor of the Senate, that he encroached upon his wife when she was president of appeal court, and the statement made by Charles Okorocha also in the House that how Ahmad Lawan returns to Senate and still remain a mystery, and that he will have to teach him how he did it. Well, Mr. Falana began saying that the scenario in the Senate is a very unfortunate situation because at such a forum, my distinguished senators would attempt to expose the judiciary to ridicule. As far as I'm concerned, I have made the point before my colleagues in the legal profession that these statements should not be swept under the carpet. However, he said, the Senate president saw danger of where the senator was going to, and he had to intervene quickly to avoid further embarrassment. And his statement credited to Senator Okorocha was an indictment on Senate President. How did you come back? You were involved in presidential primary. How do you emerge a senator through a primary, senatorial primary? These are serious allegations that we should not, or that shouldn't, be swept under the carpet. Very interesting. So if you've already applied, I think the rule is, I don't think you can apply for, I'm not sure what the legislation says, but I think there's a limit to how much offices you can apply for in an election. So if you don't get what you applied for, then that's it. You don't get to have a new position. But if you're talking about Ahmad Lawan, who has connections and who's been the Senate president, I don't think it's a miracle, in my opinion. But let's look at the comments and what people are saying. Ahmad Lawan and Akpabio are in the same boat as the people that contested in presidential primary, came back through the back door and contested for Senate. Absolutely, yes, Akpabio as well. He came and he came and made a statement, Akpabio, saying that he regrets contesting against Tinubu, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, why do you regret that now? Is it because you get to be in the Senate? And I'm not sure who is the Senate president, because if Akpabio came out to say that he's the Senate president, then who is? Another comment by Sylvia Wright says, Falana, ask your tribesman, how did he become Nigeria's president? Is it not the same crooked means? Nigerian judiciary, they are so corrupt. I mean, it's such an irony. Imagine the body that is meant to, the segment of the government that is meant to uphold the constitution. And if anything goes wrong, they are the people. They're basically the police of the laws. They're basically, they make sure that they are enforced. And, it's so crazy to me because how the court would say something and then you have other bodies just ignore the court. It's like, where's the power in the judiciary? And giving judgments over time that are just unjust, first of all, and are delayed, delayed just for a lot of people. It's like, how do you respect that body and, depend on it to keep enforcing, the rule of law? Otumba Dada actually laments and he says, you are a bigot. How dare you talk to a whole president of a country like that? You don't even have respect for your president. After all, you guys be talking of US, Britain. Have you seen them blasting or talking abusively to their country president? Yes, please. I feel like when you try to make comparisons with the UK, US, and that, like, come on now, come on. It's like, how deep is the inferiority complex, right? We understand that we are not perfect and we have so much growth, but using them as a comparison and as a benchmark for what should run, first of all, they are working and they're so ahead, and in working in such a stable environment, right? Not saying that these countries are perfect or lack corruption, no, but to a very large extent, the standard of living, the types of people that are there, I mean, to a very large extent, you have people's needs being met. Nigerians are living in abject poverty. These people make very smart decisions, not just for the now, but for later, sustainable decisions. They are so ahead that it's even such a it's such a confusing thing to have both, ourselves and the likes of the first world countries in the same conversation. It wouldn't make sense. We are way behind. We have so much catching up to do. So I don't think it's a how dare you talk to the president. That's the thing. No one has that kind of attitude here. Do you know how much abuse Donald Trump went through? I don't understand. Like, are we not on the same internet, right? And Donald Trump has a bigger platform and more presence and popularity than Buhari or freaking Tinubu. And look at the UK as well. And the UK has been changing prime ministers like they've been changing their clothes. So it's like, would you then... Come on now, please. I think something like that really irks me. And when people speak like that, it's like, this is why Nigeria is not moving forward. Because the kind of thinking that we have as a collective is just so behind. And we need to be updated, honestly. But yes, it's the same conversation we have every single time of how the government is bad, this judicial system is corrupt. How can people, apply for one thing and then in the same breath apply for another when they failed? It's like, it just shows that a system that doesn't work and no one holds anybody accountable. So what happens is you have people in government and outside of government just doing what they want. Put what you think in the comment section below and do not forget to like and subscribe.